So guys, USA is deporting lots of people. They are deporting illegal, legal Asian, Chinese, Japanese, Indian, Middle Easterns, African, and list goes on. I don't have any problem with that, but just look at this innocent dude. He looks normal, and recently he got arrested by ICE while he was trying to rescue his thick Latina girlfriend. Lots of people don't know big booty Latinas. They are the real backbone of the US economy. So save big booty Latinas. Next news, recently Mande got banned from the Twitch. He was watching the movie on stream and after that he got banned. But if he had some massive tits, he probably would get banned for only 24 hours. But unfortunately he doesn't have any, so maybe he got banned for the next 3 days. Next news, before Falcon announced their roster, ALG's social media leaked everything, and that is not a good thing. And now let's start the video with Zachamzer, where he explained why he is LFT and how Zer0 decided to join his team.
Let's make this one real clear. Zer0 talking about the sabotaging shit yesterday on stream, he was just trolling. Obviously, I wouldn't sabotage a pro league team. You are out of your fucking mind. Like, what? I spoke with somebody, you know, on the ZZ team as of yesterday, and there was definitely a common consensus of what went wrong this recent weekend. But yeah, he was just trolling. Obviously, I'm not sabotaging anyone. Zer0's lucky to be even having that many pro league points after where they were at in the first place, so I would do the same thing if the roles were reversed, and I don't blame him for going for the best players. Someone said that you were asking 8K from orgs. Obviously salaries have changed now and then, but yeah, my salaries for the past, like, I don't know, 3 years or so have been anywhere from, I think the lowest salary I've been on that I can remember is 4.5K. I think even on FlyQuest I was on FlyQuest I was on 3K, but after FlyQuest, which is literally 5 years ago, I was on 4.5. Highest salary I was ever on was 7.5. The lowest one I was ever on was like 4.5. And then it like middled out from like 5.5 to like 6 like really often. I mean, we'll see what Hal does to him. Let's start there. Do I think Zer0's happy, or Wxltzy's happy with Zer0 leaving? Happier? Yeah, he's definitely happier. But let's see what Hal does to him first. You know what I'm saying? Let's be patient. Definitely not Team Inferno, Legacy Kingdom, probably not D-Gap or 5-Star Ape Gang, Duregs, Thuggets. ROC are going to play together. Those guys are insane even though they're in a fucking rut. But Doss is my GOAT and I'll always have his back. That's the GOAT. SimJ, I don't even think they speak English in their comms, so I don't know anything about SimJ. I don't think I could work with SimJ. Yes to Sentinels, Zone Spammers, no. Stallions, no. Nice Guys, probably not, but I have no idea. I think it could be fun to just literally never scrim, never do anything, and just show up to Pro League and boost like that team, and like saying in them have like mental mechanics. So there's an angle there where that could be like funny to just like never practice and just show up and still be good. Liquid, I don't think they speak English primarily, so that'd be a tough environment, but I really like Yanya and I love Pistillo. 100 Thieves aren't making changes. They literally just got Jen's Visa. Hot Dog Mafia, I don't even know who's on that team, to be honest with you. I get it confused with Monsoon's team. I don't know if that's Monsoon's team or not. DMG, I have no idea. I actually don't know who's on DMG off the top of my head. NIP are going to stay together. They're definitely one of the best teams. They're a good team. Flat Earth, no. Dropped in them are going to stay together as far as I know. They just had their best placement. TSM are going to stay together as far as I know, but yeah, I would probably play with TSM. Exterminators, I think that's naughty in them. They're obviously doing like pretty good, to be honest, so they probably won't make a change, but if they were going to make a change, I probably wouldn't play with them unless they had an org. Oblivion, I don't know who's on that team, but they're doing really good, so they probably won't make a change. VP just made a change. Unreal Nightmare, I have no info about Unreal Nightmare. If Unreal Nightmare is the team with Sacred, then I think really highly of Sacred. I think Sacred's like one of the next up players. Falcons, I'm not joining Falcons, crazy leak. Shopify aren't making any changes as they reject Zer0. They definitely aren't probably going to say yes to me. And then Pioneers shouldn't make any changes because this guy has fucking 57 points in 3 days. That's kind of the situation. It's kind of the rundown of 30th to 1st. Did you guys have any orgs lined up with ZZ? We had one org lined up with ZZ. It was a really small org. They were extremely nice. They were really awesome people. Their like budget came in a little low, but it was still a really good offer. It was definitely a competitive offer, and we were really grateful for it. If none of this happened, we probably would have said yes to it. but it was a little bit low. I think I don't mind saying it. Like their budget for the team was like was 15 a month. So like it's a little low, but it wasn't like terrible. And they were extremely nice, and they had they had a bunch of other things that came with it too. Like no prize pool from champs. Like they were gonna take 0 prize pool. They were setting up boot camps and everything's for us that they fully paid for and stuff like that. So there was a lot of benefits that weren't just salary. They were extremely nice, and we were very grateful for that opportunity. How it went down is basically like Falcons sucked. They angry at each other, which is just like a normal Tuesday, as we all know. They had an offline meeting that went somewhere along the lines of like, hey, how can we work through this or work over this? That turned into them not wanting to work together. Not them. That turned into Zer0 continuing to not want to work with them or want to be free in one way or another. Obviously, this is very vague because I won't know as much as they will. So I'm just going to say it vague because I don't want to say something that isn't true. And then when Zer0 says that he doesn't want to play with them anymore, they say, all right. So then they have to look for one as well. As far as timeline goes, I'm pretty sure this is last Sunday or like this previous Monday. Zer0 wanted to leave Falcons and play with Sykes and Gild because obviously Sykes and Gild are incredible players, and we were like first in Pro League, and they are like literally in like relegation basically up until this weekend. So you gotta remember, keep in mind that this is last Sunday, not current modern day. Zer0 is 1,000 times like Zer0 is insane, bro. There's no doubt in the world that Zer0 isn't as good of a player as he is. Obviously the guy's a mental terrorist, not a great person, but at the end of the day, that guy is the best IGL in the world, and that is just a fact. I don't think there's any disagreeing with that. Like, that guy is Thanos. That turns into Falcons then having to look for one as well. Obviously, Falcons looking for one versus Zer0 looking for one. One carries more weight than the other. Obviously, Falcons haven't announced their third, but, I mean, obviously you can see who's on and not on ZZ, so you can figure out the math for yourself. So this has been a long time coming. This isn't like some surprise or like, oh, I got fucked out of a spot or something. Like, no. I was even willing to work with them. I didn't understand how the Pro League worked. I was under the impression that I was going to have to play another Pro League week with Zer0 and Sykes so that they could even like take the spot and then pick up another player or pick up whoever they end up picking up, whatever it ends up being. Obviously, I was wrong about that, which was a good thing for me to be wrong about. That made my life a lot easier, you know? So that was cool. And obviously, it makes their life a lot easier too. So that was a win. And they will, you know, they will be a really, really, really good team, I think. Obviously, those VODs will be very entertaining. Everyone would say that, but they will be an extremely good team. When Zer0's motivated and Zer0's passionate, he's just the GOAT. It'll be really interesting to see the rivalry of Hal versus him. I'm really excited to have that back in Apex. I also think Hal, you know, has a fire underneath him to catch up to Zer0 after not IGLing for a year and a half. Who knows where his bar, you know, who knows where Hal's floor as an IGL is right now, right? Compared to Zer0's. So that'll be really interesting to see. I do think Falcons will be the best team in the world. I don't know. I feel that way. Zer0's team is going to be mental as well. As far as what goes for me, oh wait, maybe I said this or maybe I didn't. I'm just trying to be fast about everything. Again, this is like all of this has been known since last Monday, so it's not like I'm getting blindsided. I was even willing to like play an extra week and like, you know, make it work. I'm not going to be like a douchebag to my teammates. I will say the only thing that has like sucked about this whole process is like everyone would vouch on Tuesday evening when they pulled me into a call to tell me that like, hey, like we have this offer, I have this offer, I have this offer, and we're exploring these opportunities, and like it is what it is, you know, because we don't even have an org, which is like totally fair. I was like very happy for them. I was a little bit skeptical for Sykes, but that was just because like, you know, Zer0 can be a little harsh sometimes, right? But I was over the moon for my teammates and they will vouch for that. So everything for like this weekend has just been kind of like whatever. I really hope that like the ZZ team, like at least with me, is like not remembered for this recent weekend. Like obviously our team has been like in the process of blowing up since last Monday. So of course this weekend's Pro League is like gonna be a very different environment. You know what I mean? The only thing that like really sucks about this process is kind of how it went down towards the end. Like today sucked. Internally, Sykes was saying that like he was really undecided on whether he wanted to like play with me or play with Zer0. Obviously, I thought internally that he'd be leaning towards Zer0. I mean, Zer0's just the best IGL of all time. But internally, that's what he was saying. He was pretty torn by the decision. So going into Sunday, like yesterday, he was undecided. So obviously after yesterday, I sent a nice message saying like whatever, like, hey, like let me know what your guys' decisions are. happy for you and excited for you. Congrats, Gild, like all this other bullshit, right? And then like he just never replied, so that sucked. I actually found out I got removed by Tabris. They reached out saying that, hey, do you know that you're being removed from your team? And I was, yeah. That was the only part that wasn't cool. It would have been cool to just go like a, hey bro, it was fun playing with you. Glad we were first and second pro league. We were a really good team. You know, it would have been cool to get one of those, but outside of that, everything was fine. Really glad we got the opportunity to play together. Obviously, this is the best team I've ever gotten to play with, Sykes and Gild. And obviously, we were extremely, extremely good. I mean, the only team that was doing better than us was fucking Zer0, and had none of this bullshit happened, you know, this previous week, we'd definitely be first place in Pro League by like a mile. Sykes is a snake? I don't think Sykes is a snake. I don't think of it like that. I just think he just made a mistake and it was fucked up, but it's not the end of the world. Definitely wouldn't say that. Any offers for you? Yeah, as far as me going pro, just some insight into my life. Going into, what is this, champs? Yeah, Jesus Christ, bro, I'm playing in Pro League. Going into Split 2 Pro League, there was only 2 teams I was willing to play with because IRL, I'm like doing really good in real life right now. So like the only way I'm willing to play Apex right now, like in Pro League or champs, if I have a team that can win, like I will not play with a team that like can't win. It's not worth my time right now, where I'm at in life and what is working with IRL. So there was only 2 teams I was willing to work with in the offseason. One team told me that they're unwilling to make changes. And then the other, well, that was it. There was only one team I was willing to play with, and they told me they were unwilling to make changes. So I was like basically content with like, all right, well, let's see where this goes. Like I got a lot going for my IRL. I just got to focus on this really quick. Can I say that team? Maybe another time. Not right now though. But out of nowhere, I got an offer from Gild and Sykes, and that was fucking mental. And I was so excited to try to win with them. And we did a really good job. So I'm really grateful for that opportunity, and I thank them a lot. Working with Winnie was like a 10 out of 10 experience. She was a great coach. She really does a good job of like keeping on everyone's mentals and, you know, the calmness in the team. She's really great at that. She's extremely smart, so that was really fun to work with her, Winnie, Sykes, and Gild. Obviously, I'm rooting for all of them. But no, I have no opportunities. It wasn't like it was the world's best kept secret, obviously. No, I don't think majority of Pro League teams knew that all of this was going on behind the scenes. And I do think that majority teams knew that like Falcons were splitting, but I don't think everyone knew how like the split was going to work out and how it's going to work out. So for people saying that like, oh, he's LFTing because he has no opportunities, like, yeah, you're completely right. Just to be clear, I don't have any opportunities, but I don't think anyone really knew, and like only like probably less than like 20 people knew. And the people that did know, like, kind of found out over the past like 3 days or so, for the most part. Outside of like really close friends in Discord, those guys have known since like Monday, Tuesday.
Let me know your thoughts on this video in the comment section, and if you are new here, make sure to leave a like and subscribe to my channel for more interesting video. Hasta la vista, baby.